is a special edition of the Power Half Hour, guys. And today, again, we have a very special guest, Mike Marfori from the Fraser Valley. Mike is the top 1% of all Fraser Valley realtors, top 1% team as well, and just been crushing the game in the last 10 years. Mike, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here, man. It's a pleasure, and congratulations first and foremost. I want to say to not only you, but all the agents here. I know we had a crazy 2021 for everyone, just to navigate through COVID and everything else and win for our clients. So congratulations to everybody.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy year. It was a crazy year. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, I think a lot of us came to see you. We already know you, but tell us how you started in this whole thing.
Yeah, so 10 years ago, I had an epiphany about, I would say about 15 years ago, and I was in sales selling cars, and like everyone else getting into real estate, I found that I wasn't passionate selling cars anymore, and I was really great at what I did and showed value. I was selling Hondas, and it wasn't challenging myself anymore. So I said to myself, I got into real estate at a young age. I bought my first place when I was 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
And remembering that process of purchasing my first property, I loved it. And I remembered to myself, I said one day, I would love to get into real estate and help with, with the process of helping someone purchase their home. So 10 years ago, I got into real estate, not knowing, no one in the industry, and just taking that quantum leap as everybody does when they first start, not knowing anything. So, I first started, I had about $9 in my bank account.
Wow.
And I was living at my parents' house. And I remembered my father looked at me the first day and he said, who's going to buy real estate from you? And I said, it just takes one person to meet me and get to know me. And I'm going to do my best. And, looking back at that, like everybody starts from ground zero. It's just, you got to humble yourself and remember where you started. And, I always like to look at three main characteristics of a very successful real estate agent. And this is what I look for when I'm actually having a real estate agent join the team. Number one is grit. If you have that willpower, never give up through, anything, because you're going to fail. And you're going to consistently fail, but it's how you get up and persevere. I truly feel that's a very main characteristic. And another one is growth mindset. John, you are a true, I'd say, not only a mentor, but people look up to you because you constantly feed the brain. You're constantly learning every single day. And we all are, right? Through our experiences, but more importantly, with those PDP courses, right? We hate those, but we love it.
Yeah.
I challenge every agent just to do a PDP course just because once a month, just to get better at our craft. So growth mindset is a big thing that I look for. And number three, I would say leadership. So, we're constantly guiding from the bottom to the top, our clients through and navigate this craziness of market, right? So we're constantly challenging ourselves, the agents that we work with, our clients. So I would say leadership is a huge characteristic in becoming a very successful agent. So those three characteristics, I would say, are the main foundation of a successful agent.
Yeah, absolutely. So grit, because a lot of people overlook this one because you fail all the time in real estate. And a lot of agents are like, yeah, I want to do this. I'm going to go and talk to 50 people per day. And then a month later, they don't get a sale. They give up, or they start to go into inaction, right? So grit is very important. Yeah. And guys, you got to keep growing. Like every day, read something every day, be 1% better than the previous day, right? Because if you're not growing, you're dying. And the last one is leadership. This one I really love. How do you learn leadership?
Yes.
Is it a learned skill, or is it you just have it inherent in you, you think?
These are characteristics that I find it should be a core value that
Mm,
you should either seek for or portray in an interview for any job, whether it's real estate or anything in life, because your employer that's employing you is wanting to know how are you going to lead anything. And we're challenged in different scenarios and situations that we have to step up and become that leader. But number one is we're challenged every day. Like COVID has allowed us to really step up and adapt to what's in front of us. And I think we've shown that COVID can't stop this real estate market, this real estate frenzy, supply and demand. And
mm.
now that we're here, we want a better life. And I think that's what's happening right now. It's pretty concerning, right? There's low inventory.
It's good and bad. For buyers agents, it's
It's
not so
good and
good. For
bad.
listing agents, it's really good. So become a great listing agent like Mike. So Mike, I remember you telling me, I think it was the first couple years you had to move back home.
Yeah,
You had to sell your cars or something, your real estate. What was that
for
during
sure.
real estate, or was it before?
It was actually the first 6 months. So,
Okay.
one thing I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna be very frank with you guys.
Sure.
I started literally from ground zero. The first 3 months of real estate was a grind because they don't teach you what to do when you're in real estate school, right? Go BC, Real Smart, all these different places where you're trying to get your real estate license. So the first 3 months, I didn't know how to prospect.
Mm,
I didn't understand what prospecting meant. I didn't understand how to create value. I didn't understand any of that. So mortgage payments are still going to come. Bills are still going to come.
yeah.
And unfortunately, I got missed behind payments, and it was forced
Wow.
for me to sell my condo, my car, um, everything.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I lived at home at my parents' house, age 26. And I still think about that time. I still think about that moment because you definitely, no matter what, where you are in life, you got to remember where you started,
Mm,
and it can happen. It can happen. And you just got to persevere. And like the first 6 months, I couldn't make a sale. And I remember to myself,
wow.
I called my previous employer and said, "Are you still hiring?" And they said, "Yeah,
Wow.
come back." The day that they told me, the day that I was supposed to come for my first shift back,
Mm,
I was driving on my way to Surrey Honda. And I remember I was halfway there. And I started just thinking about, what am I doing? I was selling cars for 6 years. Like, why? Why am I not going to persevere becoming a real estate agent?
mm.
And I swallowed my pride and I said, I'm not going to stop. And then I told them, I'm like, sorry, I changed my mind. I'm going to go full on in real estate.
Wow.
So it's a
For
humbling
you.
experience. It's a humbling experience for sure.
So 6 months without a sale in the first 6 months. So what
Mhm.
was the switch that started to, get you on this run?
Well, it's action, right? So action
Mm,
creates reaction. And the first thing I noticed was I had to educate myself. I went to my first morning meeting after 6 months of procrastinating, thinking, I'm the best at what I do without doing it. So I went to a morning meeting and I connected with an agent by the name of Chris Shields. Chris is an amazing guy. He was my mentor at the time, and he
Wow.
did a listing presentation in front of my office, and it blew me away. It blew me away. I said, this guy's so influential that I would list with him, and that gave me the confidence just listening him to and hearing how he spoke about how articulate the value um, that he brought. And I said, you know what, this guy has something that I would like, you know. And
Mm.
so I asked Chris if how I can create value in his team. And the rest was history. I never looked back. He taught me everything. And you need a mentor. I truly believe in having a mentor. I still
Okay.
have a real estate coach today.
Oh,
Um, and you know what? I would highly recommend it. If you don't have a real estate coach, you know, maybe a coach is not for you, but try it. You know, the worst case scenario is you gain knowledge. You gain more knowledge, and knowledge is key, isn't it, John?
oh, it's huge. I mean, I've right now I have 4 coaches, right? And I never stop learning. So that's a huge one right there. I didn't know you actually had a mentor starting off. Did you join his team, Chris Shields?
I did. I
Okay.
did. Amazing guy, amazing guy. And you know, here's the thing: there's no right and wrong. What I love about our industry and our business, there's no right and wrong of
Mm,
how you conduct your business, of how you want to have a goal. Like some people's goals are to hit 20 homes, which is incredible for the year, or 100 or 200 or 500 families to help.
mm-hmm.
And you know, for me, it's just to have a balanced lifestyle, and of course to hold that highest integrity to help other families with a real estate goal. So for me, it's like I I understand money isn't everything, because money is just what fulfills maybe perhaps your goals that you have traveling, or you know, a goal that you have to buy a certain property, you know, things like that. But it's not going to
Mm-hmm.
make you fulfill that happiness and that balanced
Wow.
lifestyle, right?
Got
You
it.
know
So
that,
money.
John.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I chased money for years though, right? And knowing that every money goal that I've chased, that I've hit, it never really fulfilled anything. It was the experience of becoming who I am today is what's truly fulfilling, right? It wasn't about the money.
Absolutely.
I keep, seesawing back and forth though, because a lot of times we want to chase after that next million, the next million, right? So it is tough. It is tough to balance that. I don't know if you remember this
For sure.
in 2018 when we had lunch. That was the first time we actually met, and then only time we actually met. No, we met twice. But you told
Met
me
twice, yeah.
you gave me some advice. You said to expand your business, why don't you spend some money, John? Tell us about that, like marketing, because you're a big marketing guy, and that, I never was. Would you
Yep.
recommend young agents like yourself to do that right from the start?
Absolutely not. If
Absolutely
I can
not.
tell yeah, if I can tell my younger self what to do 10 years ago, uh, I was spending money on the wrong things. You
Hmm.
know, you don't need to spend any money. I would say you spend more time on creating that experience,
Hmm.
building that value, and that is priceless. It's just spending more time with clients and client care. However, the caveat to that is I feel like there should be somewhat of a balance, because you and I both know if you look at the top 1% or the top tier of the top 5 people in the top, you know, Greater Vancouver or Fraser Valley, they have one thing in common. And that one thing is they absolutely farm a strategic area, whether
Yes.
it's 5,000 or 1,000 or 10,000 homes. They
Hmm.
strategically, specifically, uh, know an area specific. So when you're driving down an area or a city, you'll notice there is that one agent that really stands out amongst the most, you
Hmm.
know, because they're that area specialist. So do I believe on strategic farming? Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely not. But when you're first starting as a new agent, you could spend $0. You don't need to spend a whole lot of money. I do feel like number one, as you know, sphere of influence is everything, you know, and
Right.
that's free, you know, and who you know, they like you, they trust you, they're going to want to do business with you, right?
Hmm.
So I'd say sphere of influence and community is free, and you don't need to spend money on that.
So start with your sphere of influence, really build that up. And then once you get the funds, from that, then you could start to market and farm a certain area to become the king of that area, which is what you did.
Which I tried, and I failed
Oh,
consistently. I failed. Well, when I say failed, it's because when you're looking at success, I'm always so hard on myself and my team, is because I want to achieve more every year, just like yourself, John,
mhm.
right? So it's you can't stop at one thing. You got to keep doing it, and it's consistency, right? It's consistency. And it's just like meeting a client when you're door knocking, right? When you're door knocking, you're going to get those no's. And then one day, one of the doors that you're going to door knock, you're going to say, yeah, absolutely. You came at the perfect time. My wife and I were thinking about selling our home,
Right.
and meeting a couple of agents. And that's going to be an opportunity to share with that client how you're different, right? Um, it's just like anything, right? Top of mind, and that's why I heavily market myself and strategically in a farm area,
Mm.
because I do a lot of flyers, I do a lot of mailers, I do a lot of calendars, I do a lot of notepads. It's just not that one thing, it's everything.
It's everything, all encompassing. You also told me that you're quite involved in the community, like soccer teams, basketball teams, church, is stuff like that. You do that too?
Yeah. So I give back to my area specific, which is Fleetwood.
Okay.
I sponsor some high schools, some elementary schools. So I do a sponsorship program,
Mm.
where I allocate some funds to help out upgrading their extracurricular activities, things of that nature. Giving back in that respect. Also church. I'm Catholic, so at my church I also do a lot of community events, but also in my sphere of, not right now because of COVID, but I used to be heavily involved with my community in Fleetwood. So there
Mm.
would be the annual festivals that come out, and you
Ah,
really want to be a prominent figure giving back, right? So it's just everything. It's not just that one thing. It's being every essentially.
guys, it's not one thing, it's all encompassing. You got to do it all. So you got to be involved in the community,
Got to
you
do
got to
it all.
farm in the area if you want to be the best in that area. Did you always know you're going to be insanely successful as you are today? Did you always see that vision, Mike?
John is I'm a big vision person, and
Mm.
I'm obsessed with being, just being the best of what I can be. Um, I didn't ever think I was going to be, top of a company or anything like that. I just wanted to hold myself at the highest level. And when I was growing up, like my parents were absolutely strict, and they still are. They're very traditional family.
Mm.
So no matter what I did, I can never make them happy. And they instilled in me, no matter what you do your best, forget the rest. And I always say this to every agent on my team, is like, every day, are you coming in? Are you actually prospecting? Because I see a lot of agents, they come in, they come to the office, they're suited and booted, ready to go. They smell fresh, they look fresh, but you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook. Is that actually doing something, right? Like, get in front of people. It's a numbers game. Get in front of, make some calls, make stuff happen. I get mad because here's the situation. There's families that need help. There's families that are in need of an agent that's gonna look out for their best interest, right? And they're just waiting. John, how many times do you do an open and they're not working with an agent? All the time.
Lots, yeah, exactly.
It's
Man.
like, we need to do open houses every single day until the home sells. Seriously, no.
For
uh,
sure, for sure,
there's an
man.
abundance. There's abundance, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And although you never thought like you'd be top of the top, but you do think big. Like I have a hard time, for myself, just my own experience, like thinking big was tough for me. Like, have you always thought
Right.
big, or was it just like incremental every single year? Then it was, Because I see you catapult like pretty quickly, or I don't know. That's just what I see. Like,
Well,
how do
John,
you
you
think,
know
Vic?
one thing, John, I strategically have changed my friends,
Mm,
and I've grown up with very my chains my closest friends I've grown up with all my life, but I don't I strategically hang out with people that are actually going to excel in my life,
mm,
bring value, because time is the most expensive currency. We can't bring that back. So, like, who you surround yourself, is it actually going to create value? And I'm a big believer of not having meetings. Like, I don't waste time. Like, if someone says, "Hey, Mike, let's go for a drink. Let's sit down and meet," I'm like, "No, I'm too busy. I'm just too busy." Like, we can have a phone call, we can have a discussion,
mm,
but I don't take those meetings anymore. I
mm.
just feel like this is so important. Like, I give it all to my clients, and then if I have extra time, I'll schedule it in a week or 2 weeks later,
Right.
But this is so important, to be in the now, right? To be in the present.
Wow. Okay. So you strategically, because proximity is power. We all know this. You want to be able to hang out with people who are doing a lot, who are bringing value to you. And, obviously the friends that are not doing as much, they
Mhm.
just kind of naturally go on the wayside, right? And then you just keep moving forward.
I'm very strategic in who I hang out and spend my time. Just like yourself, John. I'm sure you do the same. I see you. You only hang out with these really top one percenters, right? And I see it, and you get inspired. Truly, you do. Like, you are who your best five closest friends, right? So I try to surround myself with just people that are going to push me and excel to the best of my ability in life, whether it's personal or professionally. You want to be pushed both.
Personal and professionally, you want to be pushed, and you got to be careful with who you're hanging out with, guys. And that's how you move forward quickly. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
what do you see for yourself in the next 5, 10 years? Do you see yourself still selling real estate? Will you transition into more of a brokerage style? Because you got a team that's self-sufficient now,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, I'm really, really happy, and just the way life is. Like, but at the same time, I want to get better. I want
Mm.
to get better in a lot of ways. This year,
Oh, is it just
a
me or?
mission and vision. Sorry,
Oh, sorry. I think you
can you
froze
hear
a
me?
bit, or is it me? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Is that better? Or,
Yeah, it's good now. Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to take time in the back end of my business, and ensure that the core values, the mission, the vision, the indoctrination of bringing in new agents, they understand the true value of the Marfori Group, your brand. Essentially,
Mm,
it's really important that they understand the vision statement and the core values, because
mm.
everybody is just a reflection of who you are. So your integrity is everything. What you say, you got to do it to the best of your ability. And I truly believe that. So I really want to, I love what you do, John,
Thank you.
and I see what you're doing, and I just give you props, right?
Thank you.
Because, like, you've done, you keep growing, you keep excelling. And I think that's why, you know, uh, being not only a business partner and a friend, I love what you're doing. I love it. So
Thank you.
it's really inspiring to see, for
Oh, dude,
sure.
I'm just first to say, obviously, I'm a big fan, and really thank you for sharing with the audience all of what you're sharing today, and I'm truly inspired. Ever since we met, I'm just been blown away. I didn't, when I first met you, I was like, wow, he's super well spoken. He's super good looking, and super humble. Like, how do you do that? It's incredible.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it.
So yeah,
Likewise, man. You know, you're a great
yeah,
guy. Great guy. And we got to do once this COVID stuff dies down, hopefully sooner than later, we should catch up for sure. Love that.
definitely. Well, Mike, if there was one piece of advice that you would give to our younger agents like yourself who want to crush it in the next 10 years, what would you give them? One piece of advice.
One golden nugget, I think it's just the most important. I always reflect, and I just think it's the most important is the grit. You know, give everything you have and never, you know, that experience might not be amazing, or the whatchamacallit, the experience or opportunity might be not amazing and it wasn't what you wanted, but you still pursued it. And here's a true example of that is the multiple offer situations that are happening. You know,
Yes.
you get, as a buyer's agent, when you're representing the buyer and you don't get that goal that you had in mind, it's really how you get back up and showcase that it wasn't meant to be, right? So if I can say, you know, to the younger agents out there is don't give up, keep going. You know, you're going to find that goal, that your clients are going to find that home. You're going to get that listing that you always wanted. You just got to keep going, keep grinding. So
Keep grinding,
yeah,
guys.
that's what I'd say.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
Thank you. Gosh, I mean, I thought, you know, there was no hard road for you in coming up to where you are, but you got to have grit because you've fallen down how many times, right? Like, but look at
Every
Mike
day.
today, guys. You need to have grit. You need to be okay with being turned down. You need to be okay to fail. All right. So I hope you guys learned some stuff today. Mike, are you still looking to
Yes.
have agents join your team?
I'm always looking for talented individuals, and that
Awesome.
never stops. We're always growing, and yeah, every day, every
Awesome.
day.
Awesome. So how do we reach you if we want to send you a referral and be a team member? How do we reach you?
You can call me. You can hit me up on Instagram, Mike Marfori. You can reach me there. And yeah, no, I just want to first and foremost say thank you. I know there's a lot of heavy hitters here, and you guys all took the time of day to be here with us. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Please continue to inspire us. I just love watching you from afar. And again, once this whole thing is over, we'll get together, we'll catch up. Thank you so much, Mike, for today. Oh.
Could you hear me?
You
I can't hear you.
can't.
I don't know what's going on with my headset here, but
Too funny.
oh man.
Too funny. It's all good. But yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for everything today. And I said, continue to inspire us. We're all watching you from afar and rooting for you. I guess you can't hear me. Oh, the audio is gone. It's all good. It's all good. All right, man. Have a great day. Adios.